Assalamualaikum, my name is FASIHAH. I will start with the definition of children. A child is defined as anyone under the age of 18 in the Children Act of 2001. Children are valuable human capital for the country and society, with the potential to shape the country's future development. However, the safety of children is increasingly seriously compromised due to a variety of issues. Child abuse, trafficking, pornography, and prostitution are all on the rise. The Convention on the Rights of the Child (CRC) has pushed the government to be more responsible for the well-being of children by recognizing their rights. There are 3 parts and 54 articles related to child protection, which is Part 1, 41 articles on children's rights, Part 2, article on the implementation and enforcement of the Convention and its implication for Member States, Part 3, 9 articles on the recognition of the Convention and its implications. In addition, the CRC was adopted by United Nations General Assembly on 20 November 1989, which contains Article 1 to Article 54 and was adopted by the country of Malaysia starting on 17 February 1995. Also, the Department of Social Welfare Malaysia also helps in dealing with children's human rights issues in terms of their protection and well-being.
Simulation of Case 1. Couple arrested over alleged child abuse case. In this case, the couple, which is the suspect, received a 4-year-old girl under their care from her biological parents. As you can see, her parents gave her because of that she does not have a valid identity documentation since they are from Indonesians. The victim's mother handed her over to the suspects in April because they could no longer afford to raise her daughter. Due to the hyperactive behavior that the girl has, the couple didn't like and started to torture her. The couple, which are husband and wife, had abused and injured their foster child by forcing the victim to swallow the rice, which caused her to vomit. It is because the victim doesn't like to eat rice. Not only that, the suspects were accused of beating the victim with a hanger and a broomstick and burned her with a cigarette lighter. The case is believed to have happened on July 18 at a house in Brana, Selangor. Kajang District Police Chief Assistant Commissioner Muhammad Zaid Hassan said police received a report on a child abuse case at 12:14 AM July 22. The complainant, a 20-year-old man, claimed a husband and wife had abused or injured their foster child. Police rescued the victim at 2:30 AM and arrested a Malaysian woman as well as a Singaporean man from a house in Branang, Selangor. The victim has been taken to Kajang Hospital for treatment and a doctor confirmed that there were injuries on her bodies. Simulation of Case 2. Budak dibunuh kejam, organ dalaman hilang. In this case, the victim, which is Siti Masita Ibrahim's body, was found at about 4 PM by a villager who were hunting for red jungle fowl in the area. The villagers smelled a carcass human body with blood before reporting to the police. Based on what the villagers saw, the body of the victim, who is a Cambodian, was found with her hands tied and without any pants. There were also several internal organs were missing and the head was separated.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is SYAZA. I'm from Sinar Harian. So today we are at the location where the tragic incident had happened to Puan Solehah and her family. So today we are going to investigate and ask a little bit about the details of this incident. So let's go.
Assalamualaikum Puan Solehah, how are you? I'm sorry about what happened to you and your family. Can you explain a little bit about what happened to your daughter? Ashika disappeared, she asked for my permission to go out and asked only RM1 from me. She left the house at 5 p.m. and I didn't notice at first because I was busy sewing the clothes. But when it was 6:30 p.m, I started to worry and told my eldest son to look for her. After Maghrib, I was worried because my eldest son still couldn't find his sister, and we asked the villagers for help. And at 10 o'clock, the villagers found her bicycle, and I took action immediately. Report this matter to the police. I myself went to see my daughter's body because I recognized the clothes she's wearing because it had only been a week since I bought it for Siti Masjid, which was her favorite shirt. The most moment that I couldn't forget is I saw the body's hands tied and have handed this matter over to the police to investigate this case. That's all.
I hope you and family will move on from this case, and I hope the police will take an action from this case. How the government take action to combat this issue? By following our child protection policy. Back to the studio.
Based on all pictures and the stimulation cases, it is very clear that we must stand and protect our children from any maltreatment. Therefore, the next video will explain more on how the National Child Protection Policy is very significant to improve the child protection system in Malaysia.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am NUREEN MAISARA ELMY, and I will explain about the strategies. There are strategies for each of the mentioned objectives that can be used to carry them out and succeed in achieving them. As a result, the first strategy is based on the first objective, which is increase the knowledge and commitment of various stakeholders toward efforts to protect children as a shared responsibility, which is to spread awareness between the associated parties. We are aware that in order to protect children in accordance with the law, we must get to know the people who are closest to them in terms of their lifestyle. Teachers have the greater access to children than most of other occupations, including parents, because children spend so much time in school. Any bruises, scars or other signs of abuse should be easy for the educator to spot. The educators have a professional and legal duty to report any suspicion of abuse. Therefore, educators are essential in combating the problem of child abuse. Next, based on the second objective, which is creating a safe and child-friendly environment, the strategy that can be made is by providing homes and institutions to the children who in needs. For children who are in difficulty with the law, children who are not under their parents' control, orphans, children who have been abandoned, or children who have been mistreated or neglected, the Department of Social Welfare, or often known as JKM, is in charge of setting up and managing children's homes. Additionally, there are homes for young girls who have been intimidated or pressured into prostitution, as well as for youngsters who require protection. These options can at least give them a sense of security and comfort so they can live their best life. Furthermore, the third strategy is implementing safety and protective measures to encourage every organisation to establish a policy of regulation regarding the protection of children in order to aim the success for the third objective, which protect every child from any form of neglect, abuse, violence and exploitation. We pursue the strategy for the benefits of the children and their future. The court decides what measures are required as well as whether a kid needs care and protection. Before Child Act of 2001 was passed, matters involving children were handled by the juvenile courts. As the name implies, these courts were established to deal with offences committed by minors. Of course, the goal is to keep them and other people from danger. Even if globalization is raising awareness, some adults still do not understand or care about protecting children, particularly in terms of sexual assault and children's mental health. Due to the fact that court proceedings are typically shown on national news and publicized in television, there will be at least some awareness when the cases are decided in court.
Hello and Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is SYAZA. For my part, I am going to explain about the impact of COVID-19 to National Child Protection Policy. In this video, I am going to elaborate three impacts, which is the first one is the child abuse case which are getting out of control even though there are policies and acts that have been enacted by the government, but it still fails to combat this issue. This problem is related to the psychological impact of COVID-19 on Malaysian families. This happened because parents are stressed because when they are let off from work and no longer have a source of income to support their children. This causes emotional disturbances to occur and become the cause of incidents of child abuse. The next impact of COVID-19 to the National Child Protection Policy is an increase of number in child prostitution in Malaysia. Based on Tun Tengku Maimun Tuan Mat said that there was an uptick in sexual assaults on minors during the COVID-19 outbreak. Citing a statement from the Chief Justice, according to her statement, she said in her inaugural speech for the 2020 legislative year at the Palace of Justice, case registration rise by 42% between 2020 and 2021. The sudden increase of child prostitution is a serious problem and has caused her side to hold a dialogue with the executive body about creating more child sexual crime courts. The next impact of COVID-19 to the National Child Protection Policy is an increase of number in child pornography in Malaysia. Although it's non-crime cases are decreasing during COVID-19, but we need to know that sexual offences are keep on increasing day by day. So here, we can see that the policy are not followed by Malaysian citizens.
My name is Asyiqin binti MUHAMOOD, and I'm going to explain about the evaluation of the policy. Malaysia, as a signatory to the Convention of the Rights of the Child, has made steps to protect the rights of the children. The policy implemented by the Malaysian government has created an effective effect on the children welfare. The effectiveness of the policy can be seen through the contribution of the Ministry of Women, Family and Community Development. Under this ministry, they have implemented a strategy on how to protect the safety of the children. Moreover, the campaign Anak Masa Depan Kita, where the ministry has committed to overcome the safety of the children in social media platform. The initiative of the program is to give awareness to parents, families and community to protect the children from the harm. It is consistent with the goal to increase the awareness and commitment of various parties toward effort to protect children as a shared responsibility. Other than that, the Department of Social Welfare is in charge for the care and protection of children to guarantee their well-being. The Social Welfare Department offers a variety of efforts to increase childcare registration. From this perspective, we can see how the ministry takes the necessity for child minors working in a daycare to attend the Permata Early Childhood Care and Education course. The protection of children has become the department's top concern. As previously said, the purpose of the National Child Protection Policy 2009 is to prove a safe and child-friendly environment, where the campaign launched by the Department of Social Welfare target at encouraging operators to register and renew their license. Finally, child abuse, often known as child maltreatment, have recently been recognized by the World Health Organization as having significant effects for human development and the avoidance of public health issues. We will explain more about how to safeguard every child from neglect, abuse, violence and exploitation in this discussion. As we can see, daycare operators who do not ensure that their carers attend and pass the Permata Early Childhood Care and Education course within 12 months may face a maximum 1,000 fine and possible 6 months jail sentence or both under the Childcare Centre Regulation of 2012. It is complemented with the aim to protect every child from any neglect, abuse, violence and exploitation. We can see through this policy which is effective way to ensure that the workers at childcare center can do their work according to their job scope without neglecting the children. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is ROHMANI binti BADRUHISHAM. For my part, I'll explain about the recommendations to improve the issues of the National Child Protection Policy 2009 in Malaysia. First recommendation for reducing child maltreatment is to implement parenting programs. Generally, most children are well cared by their parents. However, by providing various forms of parents' education, it has become a cornerstone for helping parents in general, as well as working with at-risk and maltreating families to lessen the chances of child maltreatment. These parent education programs will employ various techniques to lessen the likelihood that a parent will abuse their child. Many parents who abuse their kids have little understanding of how kids typically behave, think, or develop. Therefore, teaching parents about child development is frequently helpful for parents' education programs. Additionally, a program of this nature can teach parents on how to raise their children without abusing them. This program will also educate parents on stress management skills. This program can be seen through Good Enough Parenting (GEP) that the Ministry of Women, Family and Community Development had organized through its agency, the National Population and Family Development Board (LPPKN) in strategic collaboration with Hope Worldwide Malaysia. Next is to implement public awareness campaign that teach people how and where to file reports of suspected child abuse and neglect in Malaysia. These general awareness campaigns have always been a crucial component of a comprehensive strategy for addressing child abuse and neglect issues. By doing programs or even posting awareness on social media, it might be used to raise this kind of awareness. The people of Malaysia should be aware of child abuse and feel the need to stop it. They also need to adopt a different perspective on child abuse. To prevent the child abuse, the Malaysian government must educate the society about childhood development, childhood trauma, the effects of child abuse, and children's rights. Lastly, the recommendations that can solve child maltreatment are by reviewing the legislations, mandates, and policies for child maltreatment prevention, the enforcement of the Child Act 2001, and responsible parenting, as well as educate standards of child safety in places like schools, public transportation, childcare facilities, child recreation centers, and city council planning and development in residential areas should be the main focus of legal efforts. Malaysia should reflect the government's commitment to upholding children's right to protection in social policy measures that provide essential services and specialty care. Therefore, it is anticipated that society will be able to contribute to implementing successful legislations and policies.
In conclusion, the child protection policy developed by the government emphasizes the issue of abuse experienced by children in Malaysia. This highlighted policy is an effective strategy for preventing children from becoming victims. Many children can now be saved as a result of this child protection policy from becoming victims of abuse, trafficking, pornography, and even prostitution, which is a reason to keep this policy in place. Although this policy should be maintained, the government should continue to make improvements and other efforts should be made to treat the cause of abuse before they become more widespread. That's all from our group. Thank you.